Hey guys, hello again. This is another short video on self-care. My name is Denise Richards. I'm a life coach, an intuitive life coach, and I help women overcome limiting beliefs to create success and abundance in their lives. Now, I want this to be a very short video. I just want to reiterate something I briefly talked about in the last video on self-care, and that is about thoughts. As I said before, we have approximately 60,000 thoughts a day. Yes, we do. And a lot of them we're not aware of. They're just in and out of the mind all the time. There's a constant barrage of self-talk going on, and it's often in reaction, in anticipation, and we're always reacting to things that have happened before because our nervous system is amazing. It's protective. It wants us to survive, and we are an accumulation of our experience, if you like. So our thoughts have a strong influence on us. In fact, our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions create our feelings, which is why we have feelings and we don't often know where they originate, and they originate from a thought. And it might have been a thought that you had 20, 30 years ago, but it becomes because if you have that thought often enough, any thought that's repeated often enough, it becomes an emotion, and then ultimately a feeling. Now, we're all feelings all the time. We're constantly feeling something, whether it be sadness, happiness, joy, anger, jealousy, resentment, curiosity, enthusiasm. We're creatures of feelings and emotions. And when you know that your thoughts are the precursor, the origin to your feelings, you can become more mindful of how you can, as you become more aware of them, how you can change them. Because if you can change your thoughts, and you can become more aware of your thoughts, and I'm going to teach you a technique to do that in a minute, but if you could become more aware of your thoughts, you can then change your emotions and ultimately how you feel about something. And that's how we change our lives. So it's all about being aware, monitoring, changing, and then allowing. So one simple trick I'm going to teach you now is to, when you have a feeling, and maybe I would recommend not a very strong emotional feeling, because that might require a little bit more work, but a feeling that you notice maybe of resistance to something, say procrastination, or you get the energy of I don't want to do that, or I'm not sure about that. Just ask the question, where does this feeling originate from? And just literally close your eyes and ask your subconscious mind to reveal to you the origin of the feeling. And it might bring, oh, I don't want to do that. And it just will bring in a feeling of maybe fear or uncertainty. You tried it before and it didn't work. And then once you get some insight into where the feeling originates, you can start asking questions like why. And when we ask why, you start to get more information on it. That can bring more knowledge into your awareness, and it can bring in more choices to what you can and what actions you can take in order to alleviate that or ameliorate it. So once you start asking why, you can start to get more input, more information, and then ask yourself, is this belief that I have or feeling that I have true? And then you can start looking for evidence around you, whatever that is. So thoughts eventually become emotions and then feelings. So that little tip can help you to recognize where the feeling originates from, and then begin asking a few questions as to how you can ameliorate that strong emotion or that moderate emotion around it. Like, for me, I've got a habit of procrastinating, and procrastination is often when we've tried things before and maybe didn't work as quickly as we wanted it to, or maybe there was a little bit of fear around it. So the next time we go to do it, we think, oh, I'll do it later, or I'll leave it. We procrastinate. We tend to put things off. And that all that is simply a sign that you tried something before and it didn't work and you're reluctant to do it again. So rather than admit I was afraid and it didn't work, and admit that, I needed to do it again, you start trying to put off doing it again. You put off tasks because you feel anxious that you might make the mistake again, or it might not work out. That's all procrastination is. Often people who've been traumatized, have had bad experiences, procrastinate because, again, something went wrong before, they don't want it to go wrong again, so they keep putting off and using distraction or excuses. So for me, I had to ask myself, why am I procrastinating? What's this feeling? Where does this feeling of procrastination come from? And again, it went right back to the times when I tried things and it didn't work out. But that was a long time ago, so I had to rationalise with myself. That was the reason why. It was because previously I tried something and it didn't work, so I was reluctant to try it again. But then when you ask the questions, okay, well, where's the evidence now that I'm not going to succeed at it? And often there's no evidence. So things like that, just becoming aware and asking a few simple questions, can help you to understand where your feelings originate from and what the thought was that began that emotion that ultimately led to the feeling. So I hope you understand that. It might feel a bit confusing, and I might write it down in my self-care PDF, a little bit of an explanation as how you can start monitoring the feelings to get to the thought that originally caused the feeling. And it does seem a roundabout way, but we are creatures of feeling, and often we don't know where the feelings come from. But believe you me, the original of the feeling is a thought that you've had sometime in the past. And often as children, we have thoughts which are not very rational, but they're there to help us survive. They help us to get on with life and make sense of a very confusing world at times. But then as adults, we're often reacting to the child's original thought, which maybe wasn't serving the adult. And once well, I was only 4 when I thought that, and now I'm like a lot older, maybe it's not relevant anymore. So you can start bringing in new ways of looking at things so you can overcome procrastination, so you can start taking the action that you need to take to overcome the original fear that you had around procrastinating or whatever it is. So in a nutshell, I just wanted to say that to you, that thoughts are powerful. Don't undervalue your thoughts. And another little tip is, when you start having negative thoughts about, I can't do that, it's too difficult, I'm not going to go there, or you have a belief that doesn't serve you, like the rich are greedy, or all men are the same, or those beliefs that we have which we accumulate over time, and we just say them and think, oh well, that's okay, I say that, but it's a belief. And the thing is, if you believe something, you keep creating it in reality. If you believe the world is a hard place to live in and it's difficult to make money, the world will be a hard place to live in and it will be difficult to make money. That's a fact. So we need to learn how to monitor our thoughts. And if you find you keep repeating a particular thought, say to yourself, stop, and say, does this serve me? Is this true? And often you find that it's not true. It's just a belief that you have. Beliefs are things which we think or that we've learned that are not necessarily true. Some beliefs are true. They're the beliefs that you can prove, in fact, in data. That they are like 1 and 1 makes 2. That's a fact. But a lot of things that we think are not necessarily true. We just believe in them. And when we know that things that we believe are not necessarily true, and they're stories that we tell ourselves to make sense of the world, we can start to change them. So the first tip is to realise that feelings that we have are often related to thoughts that we've had a long time ago, but we can change them. The second tip is to look at the beliefs that you hold around the thoughts that you had and ask yourself the question, is this true? Is this relevant to me now? And if it's not, say to yourself, this isn't true, and start to take action to change it. And that's when your life really begins to change. It's simple, but it's complex. But I'll write it down for you as well, so you've got it in writing, so you can then begin to think about, well, are my beliefs true? Are the feelings I have relevant? Okay, so that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed that. It was very, very quick. All of a sudden I thought I need to explain about thoughts a bit more, because thoughts again lead to feelings and emotions and to beliefs as well. Think about it. Anyway, that's all for now. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.